What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Ticker Feed video, and welcome to the Ticker Feed family. So today what we're going to be talking about is ticker LKCO, or LUCON, and how LUCON announces the NASDAQ withdrawal of delisting, and how the shares will continue until May the 8th. So this is pretty interesting. I wanted to see, dive in a little bit into this company and see what they're all about. And so I'll be talking about the company itself, and then I'll move on to the news, and then I'll give you my thoughts. So this is pretty crazy because I'm pretty sure not too many companies are delisted on a regular basis, right? Now, unfortunately, I do think certain countries, when they do try to be part of the market or the NASDAQ itself, they will get delisted for whatever reasons, by not giving information out, by not giving all the numbers, whatever the case is, or they find out that the company itself is not what they thought. I'm not sure, but I haven't read it yet, but let's just check it out and we'll go from here. Okay, so for those that don't know anything about the ticker LKCO or LUCON technology, they are one of the global leading spatial temporal big data processing technology companies, and is a leading interactive location-based service company in China. Now, the core business brands of the company are LUCON and SuperGene. So the company mainly provides spatial temporal big data or intelligent services based on its self-developed patent technology, which can be applied in mobile internet LBS, internet traveling, intelligent transportation, as well as automatic drive, smart city, intelligence, natural resource exploration and monitoring, and so on. Now, these services are integrated intelligent computing and application services for spatial temporal data, which including but not limited to satellite and UAV remote sensing image data, HD map, 2 and 3D internet map, and real-time trajectory or industrial stream data. So that's a quick little summary of the company itself. I mean, it's pretty clear. It's a global leading temporal big data processing technology right here. Well, they're located in China. So for me, so far everything seems pretty good. So let's see why and what's going on with between them and the NASDAQ. LUCON announces NASDAQ withdrawal of delisting notice and confirmation that the trading in LUCON ordinary shares will continue until May 8, 2021. So let's keep reading. So it confirms that the trading restrictions in LUCON securities under Executive Order 13959 will not take effect until May 8, 2021, and DAI investments will be permitted through March 9th, 2022. Now, Beijing, March 11th, 2021, LUCON Technology Corp., again, is a leading interactive location-based service and big data processing technology in China, announced a receipt letter from the Department of Treasury Office of Foreign Asset Control, or OFAC. The letter confirms that any restrictions on U.S. persons to trade LUCON securities or derivatives will not take effect until May 8, 2021, and the divestments will be permitted through March 9, 2022. So OFAC has also confirmed that the U.S. Department of Defense, or DoD, has listed LUCON as a communist Chinese military company, right? So CCMC, effective as of March 9, 2021, and that an earlier listing of the company as a CCMC under a misspelled name is no longer effective. Wow. A communist Chinese military company. Man, that is, that's major news. That's, you don't hear that all the time. I don't think I've ever read that on any of these newsletters ever on any type of update. So for me, that's a big deal. Now it says, upon receipt of the OFAC letter, LUCON contacted NASDAQ senior management to inform it to the action taken by the OFAC and requested that NASDAQ reconsider the delisting determination that is previously issued, as well as its decision to suspend trading in LUCON ordinary shares effective 9:30 a.m. on March 15, 2021. Earlier today, NASDAQ notified LUCON in writing that it has withdrawn its delisting letter and stated that unless there are further changes to the company's status on the CCMC list, NASDAQ will issue a new delisting determination to be effective May 8th, 2021. As a consequence of the NASDAQ action trading a Lewicon of ordinary shares not to be suspended until 9:30 on March 15, 2021, as previously disclosed. Now, I was reading and it said if a stock is delisted, the company may still trade over two different platforms, namely the over-the-counter bulletin board, or OTCBB, or the pink sheet system. As a result, individual investors have less data on which to base their investment decisions, often causing such stocks to drop off the radar screens, which makes sense, right? I mean, if you're removed from the NASDAQ, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's not very probable that the company will continue to succeed, at least on such a volumes level, right? So, man, a communist Chinese military company, that is just massive news. I can see why there's a little bit of hesitation, right? That doesn't look good if it's true. So this should be interesting to see how this plays out later down the road. Now, Lewicon expresses its sincere gratitude to the management of NASDAQ, which reacted promptly and definitively to the change in the OFAC's position, thereby avoiding a disruption in trading of Lewicon ordinary shares. So I guess if NASDAQ, and Lewicon were fighting it on a higher level, then maybe they would have been removed immediately. So people that own the shares, well, it wouldn't have been in favor for them. And so at least on the higher level standpoint, at least they weren't completely going against each other and just asking for some more consideration. Now, on January 14, 2021, the DoD placed Lewicon Technology Corp. On a list of entities operating directly or indirectly in the United States and deemed to be CCMCs under the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year of 1999. Wow, and so this information was in January, but you can see that the National Defense Authorization Act was in 1999. So clearly stuff had been going on. Now, under Executive Order 13959 issued by former President Trump on November the 12th, 2020, the DoD's designation would have restricted U.S. persons from trading Lewicon securities and derivatives as soon as March 15, 2021, 60 days after DoD's designation. Now, Lewicon has asked OFAC to clarify the effective date of its designation because the DoD misspelled the company's name on the Section 1237 list, and after receiving no answer, filed a complaint with the U.S. Federal District Court for the District of Columbia. Wow, I don't know how that happens, how you misspell the company's name, especially when you're going to delist them from the NASDAQ. That's a pretty big deal. I think personally, if I owned the company, I think I would be hurt. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if they kind of did that on purpose or whatever the case was, just to maybe get it in the news, or it could have just, accident. You just never know, right? So the complaint alleges that Lewicon's designation as a CCMC is unlawful. Lewicon had further asked the court in an emergency motion to enjoin the application of the executive order as to Lewicon. Lewicon's complaint is more fully described in prior announcements. Now, as previously disclosed, Lewicon received notice last week from the NASDAQ informing Lewicon, as a result of the DoD designation, trading the company's ordinary shares should be suspended at the open business on March 15, 2021. NASDAQ stated its intention to file a Form 25 NSE with the Securities and Exchange Commission, which would have removed the company's securities from listing on the NASDAQ stock market. Now, that notice of impending suspension of trading and of intent to delist Lewicon securities was withdrawn by NASDAQ earlier today. NASDAQ has reserved the right to issue the delisting letter as the new May 8, 2021 trading restriction dates approach. Now, DoD formally re-designated Lewicon on the Communist Chinese Military Company list as of March 9, 2021, correcting its prior misspelling of the company name, and in the process extended by 60 days any restrictions on U.S. persons' ability to trade Lewicon securities or derivatives under the executive order. Man, this just seems like a cluster. You're going back and forth, misspelling names, you're saying that they're a communist Chinese military company. You're delisting. I mean, it's just going on and on and on. Now, on March 10th, 2021, OFAC confirmed in writing to Lucon that the original listing was erroneous because of the misspelling. OFAC further confirmed that the trading restrictions under the executive order will take effect as of May 8, 2021, and divestments permitted through March 9th. Upon receiving the letter, man, so Lucon intends to continue to pursue its legal rights before the court. Lucon's complaint raises as a series of legal claims relating to the Lucon's designation on the DoD list related to those restrictions. Now, with Lucon contends are unlawful, although DoD's March 9th designation of the company delays the effective date of the restrictions on U.S. person trading. Lucon continues to believe it is not a CCMC and that the U.S. government actions have been without factual and legal support. Okay, so for me on a legal side, I mean, I know without a doubt they would not be giving this type of information out, especially to the broad public, without doing some due diligence. And so for me, this is, again, major news. I mean, I don't even know how to fathom this type of information, like, while I'm reading it. It's unbelievable. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and check out their chart. So checking out the chart, I see currently it's at $1.06 and it's down 3.64%, which I can imagine after hearing that type of news, if anyone's seen it. And I'm sure throughout these next few weeks until that deadline, which is, again, not until May the 8th, I mean, we might see the trend line continue to drop. I'm not sure, but again, this news is pretty crazy. I mean, you can see on March the 9th, it was at 72 cents and it shot up just a little bit. And now I say the trend line's pretty maintaining around that low dollar. And so this is pretty interesting. But again, guys, I really do appreciate it. Let me know your comments on the company itself, if you own it, and what do you think about this news? I mean, again, for me, this is just unbelievable. I mean, I've never read that ever on any news for any company personally. So again, guys, welcome to the Ticker Feed family, and I really do appreciate it.